Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Today, we're gonna start another of my series playthroughs. The series we're looking at this time is Might and Magic, which is pretty old series, obviously, as you can tell. Might and Magic Book 1, The Secret of the Inner Sanctum, was released in 1986. Developed originally for the Apple II. And then was ported to all sorts of, other home computers as things were back then. DOS, Commodore 64, PC 98. They even had a release on the NES. So we're playing the DOS version, of course, because DOS box is pretty easy to get going. And this is from GOG. This is where I purchased this. GOG has a pack you can get for $10 that contains Might and Magic 1 through 6. So, yeah, I've never played. I'm pretty certain I've never played a Might and Magic game. I have played Heroes of Might and Magic, but that's a very different genre. And I wonder if I can... there we go. Just quiet that for a moment. So, the Might and Magic series, the Heroes of Might and Magic series is sort of a turn-based strategy series. The Might and Magic series, though, is, I guess, CRPGs. More specifically, though, they're... I mean, I guess, at least the earlier ones, I'm not really sure about the entire series, but when I think of Might and Magic, I think of dungeon crawling. Also known as blobbers, because your party of characters is a big blob on a map just moving through a dungeon and clearing out shit. And so I don't have much experience with blobbers. It was not something we had when I was young, and everyone's going to be different. I mean, no child growing up with video games is really going to, well, practically no child is going to have like this totality of video game experience of like, oh yes, let us try this genre and let's do this. It's just like, no, you kind of get what you get. Especially growing up in the 90s and stuff, it was just kind of the Wild West. I mean, you'd read some magazines and maybe be like, oh, that game looks cool. But it was kind of just like, you never knew what you kind of ended up with. Going to like Comp USA or something and looking in the bargain bin of CDs to see if there's anything that catches your eye. It just, yeah, you never knew. So I have never really gotten into blobbers. And when I was doing the best games of all time series, we looked at Wizardry 1. And Wizardry is another sort of long-running dungeon crawl series. And I remember thinking that Wizardry 1 was pretty cool for what it was. Very early kind of CRPG stuff. And I had wanted to do a series playthrough of the Wizardry series for a while. And then just recently, a game came out on Steam called UFO 50, which is kind of just a collection of like 50 sort of retro clones and retro styled games that are all new and kind of have twists on classic formulas and stuff. And one game in there, I think it's called Valbrace, I believe. That is a blobber. It's a dungeon crawl game, but you just play as one character, and it's sort of a little action RPG oriented for the combat. You have to actually like move your character left and right and dodge. It's kind of like playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out a little bit. But it's a really cool. It's probably my favorite game in the whole collection. And I was like, man, I should get more into some blobbers because I think I'd kind of like a lot of the aspects of it. And so that reminded me of doing the Wizardry series playthrough. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't I shift? And I could very well do Wizardry as well, but I was like, let's look at Might and Magic instead. Um, they're two somewhat similar series. You know, they both have a bunch of games that were released throughout like the 80s and 90s. And they both have, from what I understand, like really good games and some games that are just not really worth playing. So they're pretty similar. They're kind of both recommended. You know, some games from each series are recommended for people interested in dungeon crawling and CRPGs and stuff. But since I've played Heroes of Might and Magic, I was like, well, let's look at Might and Magic. So we're gonna go with this one, and just go through it. I doubt I will probably beat any of these during this series playthrough thing. We're just kind of looking at it, sort of like the Fire Emblem series. But I'm going even a step further, and I'm not even committing to doing like 3 videos for each game. We're just gonna play each game until I want to move on to the next one, and we're just gonna kind of look at the series, you know. Um, so that brings us to Might and Magic Book 1, 1986. And I have, from the GOG version, they give you the manual, which is 41 pages. Ah, my headphones turned on. They give you the manual, it's 41 pages. They give you a map, which is just a map of the world, so I don't know how much function it really serves for playing the game. And then I have the clue book, which is 80 pages. And this is more like a bit of like a strategy guide, I guess. So it actually has maps of the towns and stuff. And I think, yeah, maps of like the dungeons, which is really useful. Um, because otherwise, you know, the manual just tells you to map all this shit out yourself. So this is potentially going to be really useful. And it also has, I think, information. It's got tips and tricks. It's got information on specific coordinates to travel to on the map. And then it's got like puzzle solutions and information on all the items you can find, of which there is a surprising amount, I will say, for a game like this released in 1986. It gets me very excited just looking at all this stuff. Because from what I understand, this is like, you know, nowadays, like one of the least recommended in the series. Probably the least recommended, I would imagine. So it's only going to get better from here, which is great. But all right, enough jibber jammer. Let's just start. Okay, so we have to make characters. We have to make our adventuring party. And there is there are 6 character classes. There are knights, which are basically fighters. There are clerics, which are clerics. There are robbers, which are like thieves. Sorcerers, obviously. Paladins, which are fighters who gain access to clerical magic. And then there's archers, which is kind of an odd 6th choice, but sure. I mean, it's a ranger, I guess. And they can use ranged weapons even when on the front line of combat and gain access to sorcerer spells at higher levels. So there are my headphones are going to turn off again. I actually don't know how much audio is in this game, so I might want to turn on some background music. So there's 7 stats: intellect, might, personality, endurance, speed, accuracy, and luck. And The scores are range from 3 to 18. It's a random roll. So obviously, as you can tell already, very much inspired by Dungeons and Dragons across the board. So I guess I probably could look at the tips and tricks or something to see if they mention anything about character creation. They do. When creating members of your party, take note that a high-speed sorcerer initiates battle. Prime statistics are best at 15 plus. It has been strongly recommended that a member from each class be represented. Okay. So basically that. We want your, 15 plus on a prime stat, and then we want kind of one of each class. So we can re-roll to our heart's content, and we're pretty much just fishing for something solid. I don't think luck is a prime stat for anybody. 18 speed seems pretty damn good for our robber, although accuracy of 8 is pretty shitty, and a might of 7. Fuck it, let's do it. And he's going to be a robber, and then we pick a race, which I don't think has... Oh, this affects starting statistics and their resistance to various forms of attack. Let's make him half orc. Okay, so that bumped up his might, endurance, didn't hurt his speed at all, and we'll make him neutral alignment. Sure, let's make it a female. And we'll name it Gorgron. Yes, save character. Okay, continuing on. Second character. Fishing for those high stats. My headphones are gonna keep turning off, so let's put on some background music. Just something to fill the void. Okay. 16 mites. I mean, honestly, these stats are pretty solid across the board. The low luck, I don't know exactly what that contributes to, but I think we're actually going to just take this for our knight. And let's be... let's be a human. A good human. Male. And this will be our main character named Mangg. Good. Moving on. 15 personality, 15 accuracy. I'm guessing personality is cleric. So that's seems like an okay cleric. Sure, we'll go for it. Dwarf. Also good. Also male. Hoplin. Hoplin. Okay. Boom, 16 endurance, 15 might, 13 personality, 13 speed. This is our paladin right here. Done. And let's make it an elf. Also good, of course. Female. Simla will be their name. And so we're just missing our sorcerer and our archer. I believe. So, 14 int, 16 might. I mean, those stats are pretty phenomenal. But, no, I think we want int to be high. Oh, I mean, that's pretty juicy. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Sorcerer. And we're going to go with a gnome sorcerer. We'll go neutral. I don't want anybody evil in my party. We'll go with male. And let's name him... I don't know. What's a goofy gnome name? Ling Bong. Okay, 17 might, 15 accuracy. Now, an archer gets access to sorcerer spells at higher levels. So do we want a higher intellect than that? And a higher speed, probably? I mean, 17 might, 15 accuracy seems really damn good. But... yeah, I don't know. Keep going. Wow! This guy could be anything. He could be anything he wants in life. Amazing. But he also doesn't really excel at anything. So keep going. We're just looking... I'm just looking to see if Archer pops up, because I imagine then... I don't know what the prereq is for the Archer. This could be okay. It's not phenomenal. 15 accuracy, a few 12s. I don't know. Again, I just don't know how important any of these stats are outside of the primary stat. I saw an 18 intellect there. I'm assuming that accuracy is the archer's primary trait. But that could be wrong, actually. Maybe it's speed. I mean, we could sit here until the cows come home and just get our perfect party. But that's not really necessary, I think. Come on, just give me something reasonably okay. 7 speed, though. Although 14 intellect. But what are the odds he's ever going to survive to get sorcerer spells? No, I want higher speed than that. Why is his speed always suffering? Shit. Alright, fuck it. That's good enough. I don't know what his primary stat is, but they're giving him an archer. He's fine across the board. I'm just going to take him. We're going to make him an elf. Neutral. Female. Vitesse. That's the French word for speed. Okay, so... Oh, they actually gave us a bunch of characters already that we could have just started with. Crag the Hack. Yeah, he's pretty solid, actually. Okay, we could have just gone with all of those, but we wanted to experience character creation, so we did. Everyone has a club. I assume we're gonna be able to do some shopping. Go to town. So we want to go to town 1. I saw this in the manual. And so this is all the characters that are at town 1 in the inn of Sorpagal. And we want to build a party. So we want to grab Gorgrin. And we have to do Control G, H, I, J, K, L. Party is full. And then we press X to exit the inn. And now here we are. So we're in the dungeon, I think. We're straight in the dungeon, or we're in Sorpagal. Okay, so obviously old school dungeon crawling, first person perspective. And, you know, half the screen is taken up by this UI. We can move and turn and stuff. O is order. P for protect. R rest. S search. B bash. U unlock. Q quick reference. Okay, so this is the quick look at all our stats. HP is in sort of, you know, level 1 D&D range there. Actually, seems kind of high, to be honest. So that's good. Okay. We have, that AC doesn't seem to line up with D&D. Because it's not ascending AC. You wouldn't start at 3. You'd start at, like, 12. And it's not descending AC because our characters with an AC of 0 is absurdly good at level 1. So it must just be its own thing. And I didn't expect the whole thing to copy D&D. It's not a D&D game. But I think I'd have to go to, like, the manual to get some sort of explanation about... And the manual's big. So here it is for the game commands. Order is your marching order. Protect displays currently active spells covering the entire party. Rest. You rest overnight. Rest restores all hit points and or spell points unless inhibited by special conditions. Uses 1 food unit from each character's food supply. All protection spells wear off during rest must be recast upon awakening. Party may encounter monsters during rest. If so, some members of the party will enter the encounter with their condition listed as asleep. Search. Find treasure or other items hidden in the square occupied by party. You should always search after defeating a monster and before moving off the square in which the encounter occurred. Bash. Attempts to knock down a locked door. Unlock. Only a robber has any real chance of picking a lock. And that will also disarm a trap on the door. Okay. Interesting. There's quite a bit here. Okay, so let's look at Gorgrin, who's our robber. I guess we want to equip the club. Although that might be a shared club. So if we go to Mangg... Oh no, I guess they all have clubs ready to go. So let's equip them all. Let's equip all their clubs. Why wouldn't I guess. Okay, so then let's see. Protect. No, nothing currently active. So we need to cast something. Or I want to look at our spells at least. So let's look at Hoplin, our cleric. And if we click cast spell, level equals 1, number equals who knows. How do I know what spells I have? Spells. Blah, blah, blah. 94 spells. There are 94 different spells. Divided into cleric and sorcerer spells with 7 spell levels in each division. New spells are gained every other experience level. All spells cost a certain number of spell points. Okay, so I guess we just know all spells? We just know all spells. It's just a matter of how much they cost. So, okay, here's the level 1 cleric spells, right? And this is listed only in the manual. This is how it was back in the day. And I want to say the wizardry one was similar, but I don't really recall. Okay, so, man, there's a lot of spells. Awaken, combat spell, 1 spell point to awaken all sleeping members of the party in combat. Bless. So all of these cost 1 spell point. Pretty much. Bless increases the accuracy with which all characters fight for the duration of combat. Blind blinds an affected monster for the duration of combat. First Aid heals minor battle wounds, restoring 8 hit points to that character, so that's going to be a good one to know. That can be cast in or out of combat. Light gives the party 1 light factor, which is sufficient to light up 1 dark area. Multiple light spells can be cast to accumulate multiple light factors. Power Cure, which costs 1 SP per XP level of caster plus a gem. And that restores a character's health and 1 to 10 hit points per XP level of caster. So that one scales a lot better, obviously. But it costs a gem. So I don't know how often you'd cast that compared to First Aid. But I suppose if I need a lot of health in combat right now, Power Cure is better. Protection from Fear. The entire party increases their resistance to fear and spells of intimidation. And it lasts the whole day. So that's kind of your good protection spell. And then Turn Undead, which destroys some or all undead monsters, depending on caster's experience level and monster's power level. Okay, so that's all well and good. And then you could go on and you could cast level 2 spells, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's any restriction in that. So we could cast, like, Pain, which is, you know, power word pain, basically. There's protection from cold, fire, and poison, silence, suggestion. It goes on from there. There's a lot of spells, man. A shocking amount for this kind of stuff. Moving on to the sorcerer spells. They also get Awaken, but they get Detect Magic. Reveals any magical items in the caster's backpack. And detects any magic surrounding or inside containers. Energy Blast, which costs a gem as well. And that's basically Magic Missile. So I don't know how free-flowing gems are going to be. But it doesn't seem like that much damage at level 1. Especially compared to Flame Arrow, which also just costs 1 SP. But does 1 to 6 points of fire damage, unless the monster is immune to fire. So, for now, level 1, I don't know why you'd ever cast Energy Blast. Unless it's a fire immune. Because Energy Blast at level 1 is 1 to 4, but it's 1 to 4 per level of caster. So it's Magic Missile, basically. Leather Skin toughens the whole party's skin so that attacks from monsters bounce off rather than hitting. That seems pretty good. Light Location gives precise information on party's location. This spell is key to successful mapping. And Sleep puts up to 5 monsters in a deep sleep until they are damaged. That's going to be pretty useful too. Okay. Right. I wish this information was a little bit more readily accessible to me, but let me just cast Protection from Fear just so we can cast something. Enter. Done. Okay, and now we go to Protection from Fear, plus 21%. Okay. Excellent. Let's move on. So yeah, we are in the town right now. So if I go over to the clue book, and we go to the town of Sorpagal, here we can see, you can't see, but I can see. But it's not really labeled. There's no labels. It's just got, like, the outlines of buildings on, like, as if you put it on grid paper and, like, doorways. I think I can see where we are, though. But yeah, let's go to the blacksmith. Because we probably want to... Can I help you? Yes. Gather gold. Other character. Buy weapons. Okay. Gather gold. I take it we have no gold. This seems rough. All we have is a bunch of clubs. And no gold. Okay, and then there's the fine foods. I think we just want to get out of here. In their labyrinthine town. Temple Moonshadow. Locked. So you... okay. Lore? Yep. And, no. You can, like, break down doors and stuff. Or pick locks, but apparently you risk getting jailed. And it says to avoid that. So I think this is all, like, residential. The Old Hog Tavern. So, I mean, this is how it was, you know? You just had to become, like... If you didn't have that clue book, you had to actually map this out yourself. Stairs going down. Yes. Darkness. Okay, so we want to cast light. So we're going to go here. Let's have the... Yeah, we'll have the cleric do it. Sorcerer we want to save for flame arrow. So you, 1, and then I have to look up the number again, which is 5. Boom. We are lit up. This might just be like prison or something. I don't know. Oh, okay. We have an encounter with a lot of sprites. So here we have our options. We can attack them, we can bribe them, we can retreat, or we can surrender. I guess let's attack them. You know, if we die, we die. Then we learn. Okay, they're casting curses. Someone just took like 6 points of damage, so that was not good. So if we look at quick reference now, Simla took half their health, but Bling Bong is okay, so we're all good. Probably should have set a marching order better. Okay, so Gorgrin is our robber. So we have attack and fight as 2 separate options. So let me just see what those mean. Okay, so attack. Character attacks monster in the A position with whatever weapon he or she has equipped. If the monster in the A position dies as a result of the attack, all other monsters move up 1 position. Fight. Character attacks monster in any hand-to-hand battle position with whatever weapon he or she has equipped. A prompt asks which monster is being attacked, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so attack is always the A position monster. Fight means that you're looking for a target that's in, like, hand-to-hand combat. Which might not necessarily be the A option. These are all the same, so I don't know if it matters. So let's just go with attack. So Gorgrin missed. Then we have Vitesse, who's our archer, but doesn't have a shield. So we'll also just attack. Miss. Then we have Simla, who is our paladin, I think? Yes? Yeah, our paladin. Also attack. Missed. This is bad. Mangg is our knight. If he misses, then we're fucked. Missed. Okay, our cleric then. Miss. And then Bling Bong, our sorcerer. We probably want to cast Sleep. So this is going to be number 8. So, boom. Cast on A through G. Yes. Yes. None of them were affected. and now we're gonna just die. Simla went down. So now we try and retreat. Okay, and so Simla is down. So now we have to cast heal, I guess. We sort of need to heal everybody. So this is going to be number 4. Done. Okay, so good. Except basically everyone is fucked. We need to get it the hell out of here. Fuck. 4 rabid jackals. Retreat. Nowhere to run. Okay, then we're in it to win it. Gorgrin. Fight. Yeah. Missed. Vitesse. Apparently you have no options. Why do you not have an option? Oh, because... okay. So I think the plus sign there is, like, who's in hand-to-hand combat. So there's 4 of them. 4 of our guys are in hand-to-hand combat. So Vitesse can't get in there unless I exchange. And I probably do want to exchange with Hoplin. So Hoplin is 3. So we want to exchange 3. And then the jackals went and basically eviscerated our entire party. So now Hoplin in the back. I mean, I guess I could cast something. But, I mean, I've got 4 characters that are down, so it's not good. I could cast Cure Wounds on somebody to bring everybody back. Or not to bring someone back to full health for sure. Which is probably Simla. So, let's see. Level 2. Oh, I can't even cast level 2. Okay, so you can't cast level 2. Alright, that's fine. Then we'll just cast First Aid on Simla. So Simla's back. Bling Bong, I think, really wants to try to get the sleep off. So, slept, not affected. Okay, still pretty good. So now Simla is gonna fight D. Miss, of course. Hoplin is gonna cast Cure again, First Aid again, on Mangg. Get our 2 main fighters up. Bling Bong now is probably gonna cast Flame Arrow, which is 1, 4 on D. 3 points of damage and killed it. Nice. Now, this is probably when we should retreat. But since I got them all slept, we will get really greedy here. So we're going to fight C. Miss. Because we won't wake it until we actually hit it, right? I believe we're out of spell points, yeah. So let's put Hoplin in for Vitesse. Bling Bong will cast. Okay, so now one of them woke up. So fight B. Ugh, God, is anyone ever going to land a hit? No. No one's ever going to land a hit. Jesus Christ. Did I press the wrong number? No, Flame Arrow, that's correct. So sometimes it just might not work. But there you go, 6 points of damage, dead. We got 2 of them. Yeah, keep going. 2 points of damage. I wounded something. Bling Bong has no spells, so I guess he'll just block. Hoplin went down. Miss. Miss. What are Bling Bong's melee stats? He's got 13 might. You know, he could do something. Get in there. Swap out with Gorgrin. Simla went down. They're both up. Miss. Miss. Mangg goes down. Miss. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. That is insane. I mean, I have never played an RPG in my life with that level of inaccuracy. Morrowind had better attack accuracy than that. That was nuts. I guess accuracy is way more important than I thought. Okay. But yeah, basically, accuracy is more important than I thought. So Gorgrin has 8. Mangg has 10. Hoplin actually has 15, but also never landed a hit. Simla has 11. Bling Bong 9. And Vitesse 13 as the highest. So I fucked all that up. Whereas Crag the Hack here has 15. Sir Galland has 13. Xenon has 13. Swifty Sarg has 14. Serena has 10. And then Whizbane. Yeah. All right, let's try this again. We'll go with his. We'll go with the game's setup instead of ours, because they seem to actually have gear as well. I mean, their knight has a shield, so that's nice, and the archer has a sling. The robber has a sling. That's about it. Okay, so if we want to set the marching order, then right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I think is actually. No, we want 1, 2. Fuck. Which one's the cleric? Serena? Yeah, Serena's the cleric. Okay. And then the archer can be in the front line and use a sling. And I guess we're putting the robber in the back. Okay. Oh! We found battle rats. Alright, well, let's do another combat. Okay, so Whizbane, could put them all to sleep again. We could try that. It is pretty effective. So, fuck it. Not affected, not affected, slept. Okay, we got one. Xenon. Xenon's our evil orc archer, half-orc archer. So we're going to just shoot a 9 points of damage. Fucking dead. Jesus. And then our robber also has a sling. Miss. Craig the Hack is our knight. Miss. Serena is our cleric, who can't be in melee because there's only two targets in melee. So I guess we'll just block. Sir Galland dodged the hit. He'll counterattack. Wounded it. Let's not waste spell points if we don't have to. I don't think there's ammo. Boom! 9 more damage to another one. So much better. Boom, dead. 25 XP. That's how it's done, folks. I really should look at the map they have, because I have no idea how to navigate this place. Oh, and I didn't search for loot. I forgot. Okay, we're close. Close to something good here. No, now I think I got turned around. Everything is quite featureless. Yeah, stairs. Perfect. Dark. So we gotta go here. Go to our cleric. Cast. I wish I had the number. 5. Boom. Alright, good. Alright, we got kobolds. We will attack them, of course. Like, how many spell points do I really want to blow, you know? So, I think just block for now. Xenon will shoot C and miss. Shoot C and miss. Attack. Block. Attack. Alright, we got one. 3 points, 4 points. It's clear now that pack of like 8 sprites was an absurd fight for me, and I should have ran immediately. But, you know, now we know. Miss. Miss. Okay, it's getting a little dicey here. Getting a little dicey. Miss. 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 Let's, cure somebody. Somebody's... Yeah, Sir Galland is pretty beat up. So, I'm gonna cast 4 on Sir Galland. Attack, miss. 3 points more of damage. Block, shoot. 8 points, dead. Miss. 6 points, dead. 25 more XP. Good. Good, good. So, you know, everyone's doing okay. I don't think I want to blow a heal yet. Oh, that's right. I gotta search. There's nothing. Okay. Oh, God. Creepy looking gnomes with weird purple skin. Kill them. Miss. Wounded. Miss. Miss. 6. 6 damage is a wound. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah. Okay, let's get some flame arrows here then. Which I think is 4. Let's go for the wounded guy. 2 points of damage. Still didn't get him. Miss. Oh, Craig the Hack went down, so we need to heal him. Fuck, these gnomes are tough, man. That's not good. I feel like they're gonna have high, like, resistance to sleep, though. Should I try it? Not affected, not affected, not affected. See, I knew it. Miss. Craig the Hack is getting butchered. There we go, we got one. Okay, a lot of misses. We're running pretty low on... There we go, we got the second one. Sir Gallon went down. A lot of misses. Fuck. Can't hit this little bastard. Craig the Hack went down again. 8 points of damage there. That's very nice. Yeah, I mean, we gotta keep getting everybody up. There we go. Done. 62 XP for that. Okay, so what I would be curious to know then is when level up occurs. 2,000 XP, approximately, are needed to advance from level 1 to 2. Point requirements generally double with each subsequent level. Okay. Jesus. Visit the town inns to save your game. This needs to be done often. In the unfortunate event your party meets its demise, all not saved will be lost. Rest after encounters and before opening those items with traps. Okay. All encounters, save for set ones, are based on your party's current experience level, thus assuring constant challenge. Perhaps it is best to first test an area. If proving too difficult, return once you have gained in experience. Doesn't that contradict what you just said? Monsters, orcs, goblins, demons, and creatures total over 200 species. Each species has its own level of friendliness. Oh my god. Insane. Casting Sleep and Bless spells improves your chances of survival. Yeah, I really should open with Bless on, like, practically every battle. That does seem pretty good. It's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy game. It's really just impressive, to be honest. Okay, so if we go to like a modern walkthrough written for the game, if I probably read this whole thing, I'd have a way better understanding of everything. Oh my god. There's so many. There's so many creatures in the game. Jesus. Like more than in like a lot of the Final Fantasies. That's crazy. Look at all this stuff. Flesh eaters, goblins, kobolds, poltergeists, skeleton snakes, vampire bats, demon dogs, ghouls, gnolls, hags, troglodytes, zombies, centaurs, clerics, gargoyles, dino lizards, harpies, hippogriffs, killer bees, wild boars, wolverines, rhino beetles, orc chieftains, swarming wasps, unicorns. This is nuts. And then this walkthrough has kind of like discussions about all the spells and like when to use them and stuff. It's really quite extensive. Apparently sleep is only useful early on, and then it gets useless. But yeah, flame arrow is the one to use. That's crazy. I can't get over the extent of this quaint little game. Huh. I mean, this walkthrough goes over like a lot of the differences between like the PC version and the NES version. So it does the NES version obviously is not like a straight port. But it does seem pretty close. Huh. Okay, you may be able to sneak outside and pump your characters up. The trouble is you can't really pick and choose your fights, and you'll wind up with a lot of too tough ones, or you won't get any treasure from them. Many give you 25 XP and no gold, leaving you to think, woohoo, only 79 more to gain a level. Behind doors is a good place to look, but then you might trip a trap. You may have to rest after every fight, but fortunately food's cheap in Sorpagal. You can even use gems to get out of Sorpagal that early on, as the towns themselves are relatively safe and Overland is free of combat. Wow, nice. On the NES, you're restricted from going outdoors until everyone is level 2, and that is sensible. So he recommends going around town, hitting various favorite hangouts where monsters will always be. They're generally east, south of the training area, and behind doors. When you get brave, or if you get chainmail and good weapons, you may wish to try the jail, which has 4 forced combats, one beyond the door, one beyond the secret northeast wall, and one in each dead end in the area beyond. This isn't viable on the Apple, which established the jail as an anti-magic zone. Interesting. So yeah, it's you know, these old school games were not super linear. Fuck. Tree. They surround us. I think we're gonna die here. They're not super linear. So you're kind of just thrown into this town and like, yeah, go ahead. You know, see what you can get up to. And so it's very easy to just kind of get out of your element and die. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking spam the shit out of spells, I suppose. Serena went down, so there's a healer going. That's great. No one else can hit the broadside of a bat. Oh, nice. Okay, we may survive this. We're out of spell points for our wizard, our sorcerer. But you never know, we could get a lucky hit. Nope, Sir Galen's down. 3 points of damage there. Craig the Hack goes down. I think we're fucked. Nope. Dude, Xenon is sniping these bats. Another one down. It's all been Xenon. Pretty much entirely. A vampire bat infiltrated our ranks. Oh, he swooped back to Whizbane, who managed to land a hit. Come on, it's one left. Yes, we did it. 125 XP to the survivors. Except I'm gonna be lost here and die. Yeah, see, this is the importance of mapping. Also, I forgot to loot the, Yes. The monster surprised me. Savage Shrew. Why am I fighting this? Oh, yeah, we're fucked. We're dead. And we didn't save. That's it. Okay. So I mean, it's really cool. I think I kind of emphasize that. For 1986, I think it's really cool. And I think I said something similar about Wizardry. Just kind of the amount of like spells and creatures and stuff that they put into these games back then. I don't know. It just surprises me for some reason. Maybe because I think of like console RPGs from back in the day. I think of like Dragon Warrior 1 and Final Fantasy 1 and stuff. And it's just like, okay, you know, you like just sort of this primitive version of like, you know, the sort of turn-based JRPGs that we got later. But this is like almost an entirely just different genre. You know, like there isn't really, you can't really compare these to like Final Fantasy, although there's obviously like an evolution going on. And then you can't really compare it to something like a modern CRPG like Baldur's Gate 3 or something, because it's just almost so different. It's so not handheld and things like that. It's really, yeah, just fascinating to me. That being said, obviously there's a lot of issues here as far as modern playability. And I figured going into this that it was just going to be kind of a novelty to look at, a sort of a starting point. I don't think anyone would say that this is like the best in the series, or even that this one does anything better than any other game in the series. It you know, it is what it is. It's just something cool to look at. I guess most people say that like 6 is the best or 7 is the best, that sort of era of Might and Magic. No one recommends 1 and 2. I don't even know if anyone recommends like 3. Outside of like nostalgia. So I think 6 is the most often recommended, but we're a ways off from that. But I'm really excited to keep going now in this series, because if it's just going to get better and better from here, that's really cool. So we'll just leave Might and Magic 1 at that point. If I was a more hardcore gamer and stuff, I could see just continuing to go through this over and over and try and get really far in it. But there's so many other games in the series and other like dungeon crawlers that we could get to that are going to be better. So we'll just leave that here. It was really cool to look at, though. I gotta say, like, for the NES, as an RPG fan, this is probably a way better game than like Final Fantasy 1 is. Strictly on the NES, I'm saying. Yeah. And I wish, I think I said probably this during when I did Wizardry 1, I wish that I was given some of these games back when I was young. I wish I had gotten into these kind of games when I was young, because I probably would have loved them if I could have understood them. So I'm sad that I missed out on this whole epic era of dungeon crawlers. But, hey, we get to experience them now, so. My name is Mangg. This has been Might and Magic 1. The Secret of the Inner Sanctum. And I'll see you fine folks in Might and Magic 2.